I used to sit in the same coffee shop as her every single Thursday. Same corner table, same time. Because every time I thought about walking over, 11 weeks. I never found out her name. She stopped coming, and I replayed that for months. Here's what nobody told me back then. The problem wasn't confidence. The problem was that I had no idea how attraction actually works when you approach someone. I was guessing, making moves based on movies and bad advice. So I went deep on this, read the studies, learned the psychology, and what I found changed everything about how I approach people I'm genuinely interested in. Your crush's brain is not waiting to judge you. It's waiting to feel safe. And if you understand that one thing, the entire game changes. Sign 1. The 3-second window. I always thought the first thing I said was what mattered most, the perfect opener. I spent actual hours crafting things to say, and it almost never worked. The brain makes its initial assessment of a stranger in under 3 seconds. Before you finish your first sentence, before your joke lands. And that assessment is not based on your words. It's based on your body, the way you carry yourself when you walk over. Whether your shoulders are open or caved in. Whether your pace says, "I'm terrified," or "I'm just coming to say something." That 3-second read sets the entire emotional tone of what follows. Me learning this stopped me from rehearsing lines and started me focusing on how I arrived. Slow down before you approach. Take one breath. Let your body say calm before your mouth says anything at all. Sign 2. Give them an easy exit. This one completely flipped how I think about approaching someone. I used to try to lock someone into a conversation, stand in a way that made leaving feel rude, ask questions that required long answers. I thought that was how you kept someone engaged. What I was actually doing was triggering their threat response. Psychologists call this reactance. When people feel trapped, even slightly, even socially, their brain's first priority becomes escape, not connection. Escape, and any attraction that might have been building gets overridden by that single feeling. The moment I started giving people an obvious out, keeping my body language open, keeping the interaction light, not hovering, something strange happened. They stopped trying to leave, because when someone doesn't feel cornered, they feel comfortable. And comfort is where attraction actually lives. Sign 3. The question that does the work for you. I used to approach my crush trying to be the most interesting person she'd ever met. I'd tell stories, make observations, try to say something memorable, and I would walk away feeling like I'd just performed a show nobody asked for. Research in social psychology is very clear on this. People do not remember what you said about yourself nearly as much as they remember how you made them feel about themselves. So I switched. Instead of leading with who I was, I got genuinely curious about who they were. Not surface questions, real ones. The kind that made people pause before answering. What's something you're actually excited about right now? What made you choose this over everything else you could be doing today? Questions like that do something powerful. They signal that you see them as a full person, not just an attractive face. And being truly seen, that feeling is rarer than most people realize. When you create it, you become associated with it, and that association is almost impossible to shake. Sign 4. Say the true thing. This one took me the longest to try because it felt like the most dangerous. For years, I hid every trace of nervousness before approaching someone, locked it away, performed calm. And the performance always leaked somehow. A slightly forced laugh, eyes that were working too hard, an energy that felt just a little off. There's a Harvard study on anxiety reappraisal showing that naming a feeling out loud reduces its physical hold on your body almost immediately. And in social contexts, admitting something vulnerable doesn't make you look weak, it makes you look honest. And honesty is disarming in a way that no amount of smooth talk ever is. Something as simple as, "I'll be honest, I almost didn't come over here," does 3 things at once. It shows courage, it makes them feel chosen, and it drops the performance pressure on both sides. Suddenly, it's just 2 people being real with each other. And real is where connection actually starts. Here's the final thing I needed someone to tell me 11 years ago in that coffee shop. She was never the scary part. The walkover was never the scary part. The scary part was always the version of me that stayed in the chair, that replayed the what if for weeks, that got really good at imagining connection and really bad at creating it. The conversation itself is just minutes, 2 people, a few sentences, and the worst realistic outcome is a polite exchange that goes nowhere. But your crush noticing the way you looked at them, remembering your name, thinking about something you said later that night. That starts with one moment of deciding they were worth 30 seconds of discomfort. Subscribe, because there's a lot more of this coming. And the next one might be the thing that actually changes how you show up.